Namaste to all. A very interesting and important question from a YouTube channel viewer is, how do I handle negative people, be it in family or be it in workplace or in college or school? How do I handle negative people? I have to day in and day out work with them or interact with them, but they are negative people. I am unable to handle them. So can you please advise? It's a very good question. Before going to the topic, I would like to give a disclaimer. Do not ever make videos while driving. I am driving now, but I'm making video because my car is fully automatic, not only from the transmission point of view but also from the camera point of view. It can take care of the traffic and it can stop if the other vehicle is stop or something is coming in front of. So it has this automatic facility, so it is easy for me to make these videos. And of course, this is not my car, this is given by my company. So I like to quickly try to share some of my thoughts how to handle the negativity or negative people. First and foremost is we cannot avoid negative people, because when we have our own aim in the life, that my aim is to walk the dharma, because this is a Know Your Vedas channel, so I will speak on from the point of view of dharma only. My aim is to walk the path of dharma. So anybody who is coming in between to divert my way is a negative people as per me. So on your definition, negativity could be something else, I don't know. But honestly speaking, negative people are those people who are trying to divert your mind or trying to make your mind depressed or put your mind in anxiety, etc. These people are negative people. And in some cases, even we are negative people for others. So what we must do is, number one is, first of all, we must try to secure that our actions do not impact other people so hard that they get depressed because of us. So if we have to take care of ourselves, that we behave good with others. If others are not behaving good with others, it's not our problem, it's their problem. Of course, it is impacting us. How do we handle that? First and foremost thing in the Sanatan Dharma is take the help of Almighty God. God says in the Vedas, there are only two friends. There are only two true friends in your life. And those two friends are, number one is Almighty God, number two is an Acharya of Vedas. So obviously you do not have an Acharya. Most of you who are seeing the channel do not have an Acharya in life. So your only friend is Almighty God. But God says in the Vedas that I become the friend when you follow the Vedic path. So obviously without Acharya you cannot follow the Vedas path. So my request is again and again coming to the same point, that try to find an Acharya, try to start following the worship of Almighty God by everyday Agnihotra, by everyday name jap. Once you adopt your life in the Vedic path, God will become your true protector, and He will become your true friend. And when God is your friend, right, you will not be bothered by negativity of other people. But even in other case, for example, I work in a company, there are negative people who are like my level or superior to me. How do I handle them? For sure, my outlook of life is not about materialistic needs and materialistic things. So I try to take things very lightly, and whenever I have to handle professional things, I will handle professionally. But what I have done, at least in my life, is whether the person who is negative, who is acting negative with you, is your dependence on him or her is more, or their dependence on you is more. This is the first step I always try to map, and I also request you to map that if are you dependent on him or her, or the other person is dependent on him or her, or on you. So if you are dependent on him or her, then the problem is little bit more worst. If it's the other case, that person is dependent on you, then it is easy for you to handle for sure. You can try to make very clear statements to him or her, that saying that this is what I will do, you have to follow me, otherwise sorry. But if the other person is not dependent on you and you are dependent on him or her, then you must be very clear that okay, you cannot overcome that person. For example, you are studying in a college and your professor is a negative guy. So how do you cannot tell anything to your professor, right? But it's okay. In that case, you will surely have your other fellow students or other fellow colleagues, if in a company, who are facing the same situation. So you must try to open up and discuss, and then see that how they are feeling and how they are approaching the subject. They will also feel negative, they will also feel depressed, they will also feel anxious. So always try to share your feelings with nice people, with good people who will not take your feelings and then try to screw you. So if you have good friends, try to share your feelings, and also try to make a note of what your feeling is. I have always done that habit, that whenever I feel stressed or anxious, whenever I feel that the other person is trying to act negative and then trying to overpower me or trying to insult me, I always try to pen down my feelings in a notebook, either in my language like Tamil or English. I don't write Hindi, but Tamil or English I write to pour down my feelings. When you pour down your feelings, right, I can 100% bet your mind will work very differently, and you will be able to have a kind of a relief feeling when you write down something. I have experienced it personally, so I am sharing it with you. You can also try to do that, but can you really handle that professor or a superior who is negative? You cannot. You have only one choice. You can try to get out of that situation. If the person who is negative is having a professional relationship, like in office or in college, university, etc., you have an option to find another way, or you can approach to your parents to bring them and then try to help you, or you can discuss with elders and seniors on how do you handle that, etc. But in case if that negative person is your family member, you cannot get out for sure. You have to be with that person. In that case, please discuss with your parents, please discuss with your elders, your brothers, your sisters, or people whom, suppose if you know me personally, please discuss on how do we handle that situation. There is no one solution in life for every problem. So because life is very complex, life has to be attacked in proper sense with knowledge, because Chanakya also always says that there is no one solution for everything. You must analyze your life and try to take a bold step based on long-term impact to your goal. If the negative person is going to impact your life's long-term goal, then you must take bold actions in life. For example, the best example I would, of course, remember at this point of time is Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. He saw that he wants to find the route to immortality, but he saw that his father, whom he loves a lot, but his father is saying that you must get married, and father already fixes the girl for marriage. So he saw this as very negative to his life's goal. So he escapes from his house, and that's a very, very bold step. At let's say 16, 17 years, a boy running out of his home without any education or degree, etc., and without anything, he just wants to find Almighty God. That's it. So his goal was very clear, and then he took that bold step. So similarly, we must take inspiration. We cannot run away from our home for sure. I'm not advising you to run away from the home, but see the boldness what Maharishi took, and then finally he achieved his goal. So similarly, try to take a bolder step. I don't know what is that situation which is negative to you, but if you can discuss with me, we can discuss that. So try to take bold step if it is going to impact your long-term goal. But if you are sure that, okay, this is only for a temporary phase, after 2 years that guy will go away, or I will change the college, then try to be submissive and try to take the help of Almighty God and Acharya. I have faced so much negativity in my life, in my career, but every time my Acharya has always helped me. Not by, I speak to my Acharya and he gives blessings, but internally he always guides me, and that has always helped me. And even today also I have negative peoples in my career also, but with the help of my Acharya and Almighty God, I always try to handle it. So similarly, all the best to you. Don't get frightened or feared by these kind of things, because your aim is more than all these small things. Okay, don't get frightened or feared. Try to write down what you have to do. Try to write down what is in your control, what is in not your control. If something is not in your control, I have always adopted one basic principle, that acceptance is the best. You cannot be anxious about your future. You cannot regret about your past. Please accept what is there, because it is not under your control. So if it is not under your control, you must accept it. The moment you accept it, your mind will work differently. The moment you pen down something, your mind will work differently. The moment you share your feelings with your good people, with your friends or relatives or your parents, your mind will work differently. You will get lot of inner power. And the moment you share your feelings with Almighty God openly, after everyday Agnihotra, you share your feelings with Almighty God, 100% you will get support. This is what I have believed, and this is what is happening to me in the life. So we must work every day for betterment of next birth. Not this birth is already decided by Almighty God. We can, of course, God says, with yajena kalpantam. If you are a poor person, with yajena kalpantam, you can become rich by doing yajna, by doing service to Acharya and parents. If you are having let's say your life is only 40 years for you, written by Almighty God. You cannot find it out, but God says ayu yajnena kalpantam. So this life you can try to fix the ayu or the materialistic benefits, etc. But for the next life, to get a human birth, you must do spiritual deeds in this life. So don't get knocked down by negative people. Always remember every day morning, when you get up from the bed every day morning, remember God's name, and remember every day morning, what is that you want from this life? What is that you want to achieve in this life? You want to achieve Almighty God in this life, then there is all the negativity can be overcome. My Acharya struggled in his life from the age of, let's say, 11 months. My Acharya lost his mother when he was 11 months old. My Acharya always says that, the amount of struggle I have faced in my life, nobody can. And in spite of the struggle, my Acharya has achieved the highest goal of human. So we all must try to do that. And of course, I cannot share my Acharya's personal life with you. I have tried to share wherever possible in my previous videos. Try to see my other videos also, and try to take inspiration from people like Sri Krishna Maharaj or Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati or my Acharya, who have faced intense struggle in the life. Sri Ram, for example, in spite of being the son of the king, he went to jungle for 14 years. Can anybody afford to go to a jungle even for 2 days without mobile phone and facilities and then survive there? Impossible. So Sri Ram accepted the life issues. Why not we? We must try to follow their footsteps instead of worshipping them just in the temple with idols, etc. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.